Welcome to Soul Food Ministries and Outreach. I'm Henriette Hobson. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the focus of this channel, which is no more Jim Crow. We are not going back. No matter what's going on. Laws changed, put in or taken out. We're not going back to that. God does not want us to go back to that, people. He has heard the cry of the oppressed, of black people, in America particularly, but all around the world, but here in America, he has called me to this platform, first of all, to proclaim, prophesy, put it out there, bring it to pass. There's no more going back to slavery, Jim Crow treatment. Not going to do it. Mindsets, not going to do it. Regardless, that makes a difference who's in office and who's doing what. When God speaks, that's when things change and things happen. Well, first of all, first thing I want to make sure that you know that there's no prejudice here. There is no, I may call you out, your race out, and your culture out, and what have you, but that doesn't have anything to do with the prejudice. We're talking about right and wrong. We're talking about being holy and righteous. And if you're not, and you're acting up, and especially if you are supposed to be, this Christian that you say you are, and that you're not acting anything like it, and you're doing everything the Bible tells you not to do with excuses to, make yourself feel better about what you're doing. Because see, when we stay quiet and that's going on and just go on and agree with, because everybody else is agreeing, God's not with that. We're letting others be led astray. And that's Satan's whole plan and plot, because God stripped him of any power to do anything else but persuade. So, and that means he has to persuade someone to work their form of miracles, violence, and all of the stuff that he does, because everything he does is twisted, evil, and wrong. So, was all alleged First Amendment right to say and do, and entertainment purposes, ministry purposes, informational purposes. We're here to just magnify and glorify Jesus. I'm not saying what I want to say, because a lot of times I want to say stuff and I don't feel like I'm supposed to. I have to pull myself back sometimes from doing certain things, saying certain things. But see, it's not about my opinion, because my opinion at this point, my opinion in my life is, and throughout my life really, since I've been baptized in the Holy Spirit, it's based on what Jesus says, what the Holy Spirit is doing in my life and saying for me to do, And so if you're not doing that, it could be all kinds of things. People start lying. People start making up things. I mean, it's some things out here. So, but we're here to uplift Jesus. We're here to represent Jesus in the light in which he should be represented. He has been so misrepresented that he's white. That's wrong. That he was white here on the earth and he's white in his flesh body in the holy city now. That's wrong. All that's not true. That he thinks lesser of black people. That's not true. And that he thought slavery was okay, or he still thinks it's okay. He doesn't think any of that. Wrong. I mean, people can't even get it straight on anything, really. He said, you leave man to his own devices and he will surely destroy. So, anyway, all that said, I kind of want to get to it. I'm making a different video because, as time goes on and you gain a number of years in your life, things start trying to go their own way. That's your body, your muscles, everything, your skin, everything. But God said that our flesh is renewed. we have flesh fresher than a child, our youth is renewed unto us. And that's what I'm standing on. Okay? No, I haven't been really exercising. I've been out there trying to do some tennis strokes now, kind of get a little bit going. I am not good with just that, nose to the grind workout. I lose focus on that. It's just not. I need to have purpose. Be out there gardening, lifting up heavy mulch bags, dirt bags, things like that, to tighten up my, body or what have you. Even I don't want to go to the gym. Right now I'm just not wanting to deal with all that. And but in a class, or if you had a trainer or something, but see, a trainer tries to push you beyond what sometimes your body is healthy for your body to do. But anyway, I like purposeful things. Standing on the treadmill, just going that doesn't work for me. And so anyway, I've tried. I own a treadmill that's been in there for a long time with dust on it. So anyway, this is an Amazon haul that I'm doing, the opening presentation, whatever they call it. And I've ordered a few things. I've been ordering lately. I hadn't for a couple of months or so. And so I kind of needed some things, so I started again. I don't particularly like going to the stores. I went to Walmart day before yesterday. And this girl, they like the profile. And I don't know why they pick on me. I know the devil just busy and wants to trigger me. And there are times, I made up my mind. I said, okay, what I'm going to do, Lord, so I won't just go into one of those. Have to give you a Black History moment. Get loud, do what, make it appear as if they're right about what they say about us stereotypically, even though they provoke you on purpose. But that I was going to just start talking to them about Jesus. Folks don't want to hear about that. So most time they'll walk out and leave you alone. Maybe you win a soul, but whatever. So with the Tuesday, I was tired. I was self-checking, and they don't have enough of the lanes open where there are people there. I'm wanting to get out of there. I don't have time. There were some young ladies at those registers that were doing some kind of switch and bait stuff, and I wasn't having that either. So I just, I checked my own self out. Well, I had quite a bit, because when I go, I'm usually out of stuff, and I have to go back and get a lot. So I'm checking out. I'm kind of tired and a little bit fatigued over, bagging all this, organizing, doing whatever. And my bag of cherries opened up on me and spilled out of the cart holes. And one of the ladies, it was a blonde lady, white lady, she was in there, and she was standing there at her post, and I'm good with all that, because I know people steal, but I'm not one of them. And so, but when you stand there and profile me because I'm Black, not because that's your job and you're just doing your job standing there watching. No, when you come out of from where you are and come over and start watching me, I got a problem with that. So anyway, I was just going to ignore all these other mess, get my stuff done. And by the time I got done, because when my cherry spilled out, this blonde lady, she came over and she was Johnny on the spot right now. She came and picked up all the cherries that were on the ground, and I told her, I was going to call somebody and ask for a paper towel or something to pick them up. I said I wasn't going to just leave them down there for people to slip on them or whatever. But she was like, oh, I got it. She was just sweet, and the devil always brings somebody to mess up when somebody's trying to do the right thing. Okay? That's when I don't include everybody into when I start saying things about, well, white folks say that. No, all white people, no. All Black people, no. All whoever, no. And so when I looked up when I was finished bagging, this other, she looks like she possibly East Indian maybe. But I've experienced with most of them that when they come here, they want to pretend like they're better than us and look down on Black Americans and want to play the prejudice game, and all that. I'm not having that either. So anyway, so she I don't know if she was a manager or what it was, but she's just standing there she's got herself positioned Well, she's watching me. See what, and they want to pretend like, well, I'm not just watching you. Yeah, you're positioned just to watch me. Now you could be standing over there right next to the lady, where whatever it is, you are in position. She said, when I looked up and she's just standing there staring right at me, I looked up at her like, are you watching me? It just came out. It's like, I know you're not just standing there. And she kind of was startled a little bit. Because she thought at first, she thought I needed her to help me. And then when I called her out, she kind of got startled. And she said, well, no, I'm not watching you. I said, yes, you are. I said, listen, don't start anything. I don't have, She said, well, I'm not starting anything. This is just my job. And we're just talking. No, they position themselves to make you feel uncomfortable when you come in there. Because they don't want you in there. Stupid. Money is money. And the more people that come in there and spend their money, the better chances of you keeping a job and them not having to close something down or let you go. And so and I told her, I said, listen, you have people at each one of these doors. I have a receipt. They got a camera on the register that you are checking yourself out with. So you standing here watching me, that's all about racism. So anyway, my thing was, just leave me alone. You don't want to get me started. Don't make me have to act up. Just leave me. I was hot, tired. It was just getting, So anyway, I just walked right past. I didn't even look at her. Didn't say, she's supposed to say thank you to me. I saw her look at me. I'm not going to do that. See, somebody would have clocked her. But, I just kept going. And I walked past the other lady that was with her that had the blonde hair. And just to show you the difference in people. See, this is the real white folks that's good. Okay? That wants to change this stupidness. She said to me when I walked right past her, she said, have a good day. And I could tell she was meaning it. Because when I called the girl out on standing there staring at me, the blonde ran off and pretended like she was doing something else. And so I said to her, I said, thank you so much, and you have a good day too. And kept walking. I had already thanked her well when she picked the cherries up at the time. And I would have done more, but I was in a hurry trying to get out of there. My husband was waiting on me and whatever. So anyway, it's time for this mess to stop. And which is back to why I do a lot of art ordering on Amazon with things that I can. I don't do food orders for them to come, and I don't really like people handling my food. People do some nasty things to your food. So anyway, this is what I ordered. I ordered the necklace because I've got veins and stuff starting to show up on my chest. I like to wear my sundresses. Everything is just, And so I saw this and I thought, oh, this will be good. This will cover a multitude of sins. It was so cute. It's very pretty. Look at it. And it shimmers and it's reversible. I've got enough costume jewelry and I hate buying more, but I thought it was so reasonable. And it's just like a little triangle handkerchief kind of thing in metal. And, of sparkly metal. And this is a brown t-shirt, dark brown. And it just look at how it will fare on different colors. It was a black dress, whatever, how that's going to really, pop off and look nice and stand out and accent the dress. Because it's actually gold and brown. The animal print is brown. And then the earrings are the same, but they're squares. Just hanging at a triangle angle, bias cut angle. And so, you know, just really, really cute. Let me see. Well, I can't really get it. Oh, Lord have mercy. They didn't even put any backs on these things. You know what? They're getting terribly cheap. But anyway, that's the way, you know, that would look on. I can't believe there are no backs on these, honey. They put these in here and not even a back on them. Lord have mercy. Okay, anyway. So then, I wear these a lot. They're kind of a standard. They didn't have a smaller hoop, which was just a little bit smaller, usually what I wear. My problem with this is not necessarily the size as it is the weight. I don't want to stretch in my holes, having them look like a buttonhole. You know, I want them to be nice round holes like they, you know. So I ordered these. They were like, you know, a couple bucks. They're nice and, you know, sparkly, a little chunky, you know, little like. I usually like the little smoother ones like this, but all this stuff is just, you know, under $5. You know, really great. Now, this I purchased in my decoration of my deck. Tired of watering, trying to keep stuff alive. We do enough with the vegetables to keep alive. And I do have some flowers that are from seed planted, and some of the stuff is growing. My canna lilies are doing well. For the last 3 years or 4, I haven't had a bloom on them. I don't know but this time I think I'm gonna get some blooms. They really are growing tall, and they seem to be doing really well. So anyway, I've got one hanging outside in my hanging baskets that I have up on the side of the deck. And they were, I didn't like the price on them for as thin as they are and fragile as they are, because one was broken off when I opened the package and just glued it back on. But then it was $5 with tax, you know. And so got that. The colors are real bright and it pops really well. So I felt like it, you know, it was worth it. It brings joy to us as we look at it, and you know, when we're sitting out there. And my little color scheme is a bright yellow with sunflowers and different yellow things. I spray painted my Adirondack chairs a real bright yellow, and this is what they had it all folded up because it's flexible, and it was folded up in this about like this. Is how it came in a package. The flowers, they were balled up in here, and they had them balled up. I had on the other video, I showed it before I opened it up. They were like, it was a package about this size, maybe a little thicker, so what I'm going to also demonstrate is this manual whisk. It's mobile, but it's manual. It came in this plastic. And it does an excellent job with whisking eggs without you having to, you know, really do a lot of beating. It's the motion of this is up and down. And so let me fix this so that you can see. Okay, let's see. Here we go. So hopefully you can see me. You can see it. This new stand that I have, it wobbles, and I'm trying to keep the motion down. Okay, here we go. Got a couple of eggs in there, and I just kind of break the yolk up first, give it a couple stabs, and you see how it is doing it, and it does an excellent job of getting your eggs scrambled up. And the thing is, this is a small bowl, and they're not flying out of the bowl. See? And it really does a good job. Breaks up the whites real good and everything. I did the same thing with some pancake batter. Now, this I already mixed. It, but it didn't do good starting because they clumped all up in the whisk. But doing it like you would with a spoon, it did excellent. It broke everything up really well. You know, it really did. It did a great job. And couple bucks, $3, something like that. Maybe I don't think it was $5. I think it was just around about $3. And so I think great. At those are finds. Let me get this up from here because I got one more thing I want to show you. Finds that work and are practical. I like to show if it'll help people to be able to do what it is that they need to do. Save money. I'm not the greatest one with having the Q&R codes or whatever on there. It's easy to find. Just go. All of that was on Amazon haul. Okay, really inexpensive. Now I have been dealing with ants, and I learned everybody's doing this boron trick, and it works. It works. I came in and there was a whole mess of ants on my counter, and every year for the last 2 or 3 years, they've been coming through that one area and spot. And so I'm like, okay. I've been spraying, going outside, caulking, spraying, and still they're finding their way in somehow. So I said, okay, I'm going to have to do something different. And then I already had some borax. But when I went out Tuesday to Walmart, I purchased some more. And so they say do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of, depends on, you know. So if you, in other words, if you put, let me get this, if you put a spoonful of the borax, okay, in a cup. Now I got a giant size styrofoam cup that I've already made up. This is raw sugar. The granules are much larger. It is more expensive than the regular sugar too. It probably doesn't work as well. So maybe not that. But I want to keep that in the view because that's the main, this kills them. But the way that reason that you have to do it this way is because if the borax is too much, too strong, it will kill them on the spot. The goal is, you're not just talking to the product. Come on, stay there. The goal is to get them to eat it, have it small enough where they can carry it off, where ants can carry things much larger than their body size, and take it to their nest and feed it to the queen or whoever it is, and all the other ants and everybody, get and kill everything in the nest. Okay, so if you get that done, then you got something going. So this spoon that I have, I just put it in the borax, and I don't want to put that in my sugar. Sorry, my hand's up there. I'm just trying to get this thing. I've got a new stand so that I can point down into my foods, but it's the bolt on there doesn't hold it in place well enough. But anyway, I use powdered sugar, which is so soft and easy to blend into the borax and for the ants to carry, and brown sugar. You basically just want something that's sweet. Honey is another. You basically want something sweet. You can use brown sugar, put about 4 to 5, even 6 of the same amount of borax that you put in. Put that much sugar in. Same thing with honey. Let me get you some honey. I've got plenty of honey. And it doesn't even have to be just honey. It can be whatever type honey that you have, or something sweet that you have that will draw them to the borax is what you want. Okay. Now, this is some fig, what is this? Kind of it's not a syrup, but it's made of figs. Got that. And this is some honey. It's old. I've had it a long time. Never been opened. But this is raw honey. And I had this. The sugar was a lot easier. They say that there's, oh, God only knows how many varieties of and species of ants there are. There's some that like sugar mainly. Okay. But I think all ants gravitate toward the sweet. Then there's protein. There's those that love protein. So peanut butter is the thing that people will use to draw those and get them to take it back to their nest. So you really should make up something for both. And I've seen them take that and put it inside of a jar and smear the peanut butter on the inside of the jar with the sugary borax or whatever in there, and then with a lid on it with holes, and they'll go in it. Now, also they use chicken. Took some chicken. I had some chicken that spoiled on me. I could have just cooked it, and but I just threw it out. My old refrigerator, reason I got a new one, it was freezing everything in the refrigerator. Everything was freezing well, whatever. We put, just gonna put it out, things in there to keep this one from being, overrun or what have you. And it must have ran out of Freon or whatever it is. And then, or antifreeze, whatever they call it, they put in it. And my chicken spoiled. So anyway, you can do that with sugar. You can do it with peanut butter. You can do it with honey or anything sweet. Anything sweet. The granules work well. And then they tell you, put it in something. It is extremely windy out today. And I'm so grateful to God that it's just wind blowing. And there's no tornado. And I rebuke that in Jesus' name. We will never have a tornado. No, we're not having a tornado. Definitely not having one where I live. So anyway, I've got a cap. I've got a little cap off of a medicine bottle, one of my supplement bottles. This is ideal. Now I have one outside in the corner of the door of the deck. I have 2 decks and divided with some screen doors. And one's covered and one's not. And I just kind of laid it sideways. And they went with it. So, but then, if you put it in a cap, the edge of the cap is, it's not very tall, and even if it is, ants will crawl up it. They can handle it. But they're easy access. Get in there and get it. Take it back to the nest, and I haven't seen an ant on that counter since we put that up there. And I left it up there in the crack of where the 2 pieces of granite meet up. And there was a onion that I think it was a piece of onion that fell on the floor, and I didn't know it was down there. And when I came back, ants were all over it at the same time they were. And so I put some down there on top of the onion. Gone. Hallelujah, gone. So you don't want ants crawling in your ears and all this stuff in your sleep and what have you. So that's the ant, and it really works. It really works. I recommend doing it. Borax is good for a lot of things, but even for detergent and using that. Not to be ingested, They say that it would take several spoonfuls to harm the pets or babies if they got a hold to it. But when you leave something like this out, babies don't just, if it tastes nasty, they won't probably eat a lot of it. But it could make them sick. It could do something. You just don't want that risk. So put it up and away. The same thing, with your pets. And so there it is. The same with your ants and fruit flies that we're talking about. There is a concoction I saw on there where you take apple cider vinegar and mix in some Dawn dish detergent and sit that in the area for the fruit flies to, where you see them kind of where they congregate. If you already have fruit out that brought them, you need to put it in the refrigerator, cover it up, wash it off really good with some vinegar, he says, and so you don't want to get started fruit flies on the inside of your refrigerator, and clean it up and put it away, because it will be competing with your concoction you have made. So you don't want that. And so there you go. That's two things that I know that I deal with that, you can get rid of and that are hard to get rid of. And they say they come out of your drain because there's a lot of stuff that's mucked and stuff that's in your drain, food. Put a cleaner tablet or something down in there. Pour some hot water. Sometimes I'll just pour some scalding hot water down in there. I saw one fruit fly today. So I was like, okay, I'm on that. I'm going to be on that. And it was something else. But there you go. Oh, I know. And I don't have it in here, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway. The Carpenter bees, just terrible. So, and wasp and bees and what have you. And I have a pretty good sized house, and trying to attack all that is just overwhelming sometimes. Try to keep up, with all the things that go on with all the wildlife around, living in a rural area. And so I saw someone take a brown paper bag, crumble it up, then open it up, stuff it with some paper, and then, twist it at the top, zip tie it, or, put some twine or whatever around it. And then I put a zip tie on there. And then I hung it up on one of my arches that's on my deck. And then I hung it on one of my hanging flower pot hangers on the inner deck. And I'm going to tell you something. Before I hung that one outside that's on the open deck, carpenter bees were starting to come everywhere. I hung that thing up there. It was 2-3 weeks before I saw one carpenter bee still trying to hang on, coming back around. And it rained on the bag and everything, and it's still kind of hanging there. And I guess it kind of lost its shape a little bit. It mimics the nest of another insect that they don't like and they're afraid of. And so they stay away from it. And I am telling you, they were not anywhere across the whole garage area, on the decks. I did not see any carpenter bees. Then about 3.5 weeks, maybe a month, the 4th week, I saw one carpenter bee trying to come back. And so I fluffed the bag up a little bit, tried to, get it shaped back. I made another one and I hung it on the inner deck because I saw some wasp and what have you. Wasp, yellow jackets, everybody was gone. Everybody were gone. But I didn't want to run the bees, the bumblebees away because they're the pollinators. And my vegetables and everything are on the upper open deck because the deer are just, I don't feel like fighting with them. They, you miss a beat once, it's been raining a lot, you miss a beat once and they come and they're going to chew it all up. So I had to bring my hydrangeas in. They were attacking them. Even though I have the spray, it rains so much, and you forget about it. At least I do. And the things they're not supposed to like, they're eating on them anyway. So I'm like, okay. No, y'all want to play that? So my tomato plants, I got about 2 little cherry tomatoes that I harvested, last week? No, the early, maybe Sunday or Saturday or Sunday. And my tomato plants are doing great. I've got some cherry tomatoes, and both of the plants are about 2 feet tall, full. And I've got about 20 different new flowering ones on there that's coming and turning into tomatoes. And it's been raining so much that good rain just makes them really flourish. I mean, I can water them myself, but when the rain comes, they love it, you know. And even though tomatoes, you shouldn't water them too much, they love the rain. And they drain out well. And so I've had 2 cherry tomatoes. They taste really good, had a great flavor. And my other big boy tomatoes, I have 2 that, you know, they're probably about that big now. And it's about 20 or maybe even more by now that are starting to grow. And so it's just really taking off. I didn't want to move them out of the pots that they were in because I tend to kill them. But it wasn't doing well. And it was drying out easily. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to carefully transplant this to another little bit larger, not too much larger, pot. And I have to bring them into the inner deck because the squirrels come and they'll eat them up. My pumpkin vines are doing fantastic. There's too many of them in that pot, but I'm scared to touch them. I don't want to say I'm scared to touch them, but you know. But I went out there, even though I had it up on the deck table. The squirrels have been up in there laying in it. Okay, we gonna have to, you know. But I'm determined I'm gonna have some pumpkins that I grow myself. Not that they're not really the pie pumpkins, you know. This is more just for decoration. I really kind of gave up on them at first. I thought, no, I will not give up. I'm going to keep at this till I do it. But I've got enough artificial pumpkins that I decorate with during the harvest season. I don't believe in Halloween. I do not celebrate Halloween. So it's not even about Halloween at all. It's just about harvest. It's about orange and yellow, which are the pumpkins, and the sunflowers are so beautiful and big bright colors, and it just makes a beautiful display. And fall is just about color. So there we go. That's what I'm trying to think what's anything. I think I've got some squash out there, and I'm germinating some. And let me tell you about this tip too, since I'm already beyond where I'm supposed to be. I just took germinating those seeds are easy. Take them, get a Ziploc bag, put it in the package. I did it with the pumpkin seeds. They germinated in a few days. I've got some other stuff in there now. I got string beans growing out there. I want to make one of those teepees that you can go in. And they in 3 days they're germinated. You can see them come up. And so I've got watermelons in the seeds. Now I put them in my top oven that I don't use. And the warmth and whatever that's in there in this dark, warm place, and it's moist because I put water in the Ziploc bag. Not a lot. You don't want to leave it in there too long because they will start mold. I did have something to mold because I forgot about them. But my apple tree, the birds or the squirrels got my little baby apples that were on there that were trying to grow. And so I don't know if they're I don't know more blooms. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to get some bloom food, see if I can get them to bloom again and get me some kind of apples. I thought I was going to have at least 2. But anyway, there you go. That's your gardening tip from me today. And my bug maintenance formula. Amazon finds that will help you in your daily life and in your enjoyment as well with the plants and decorating and landscape, make it look better. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoy doing them until I do something and mess it up and have to do it again because I don't edit. I'm not going through all that. It's too much strain on my eyes. And so, but, you know, I like helping people. And this is my little way of doing that. And so just know that you're loved. I love you. I haven't seen any of you. And Jesus loves you way more than anybody can love you. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Bring them on over to the channel. And so they can enjoy and learn something about Jesus. As I learn about him, I'm going to tell you. Because we're the winners. And we've got to step up our game, because there's some things going on out here in the evil world that it's like, okay, no wonder we're getting beat down. You know, we've got to realize who we are and the powers that we possess and stop the devil in his tracks. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. And no, you didn't. So anyway, see you next time. Be blessed. Bye for now.